All right, welcome back to another week D&D, guys. Week 56. We're still going.
Depending on how this session goes, we may or may not be fucked.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, that's what
zero
you
next
think.
week.
I mean, that'll be a problem for future you. So, a couple announcements here before we get too far into this. One, I do want to thank Warlord82 for the follow. This happened yesterday while I was off stream, but I wanted to make sure that people or the people understood that I'm calling it out. Blah blah blah. The other thing that I want to mention is we are going to be down a John for a little while. He has to take. He is taking some time off to take care of some personal business of his, and he will be rejoining when he has time. And I have a way of getting him out of the story narrative. And honestly, you're all going to be mad at me in the comments, but I don't care. So that is the last housekeeping thing that I needed to go over. Yeah, that's everything for now. And that
Also, some of us may be using a new toy we recently found.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know.
I know. I'm gonna be playing with it.
Yeah, I will let you guys use that at your discretion. For your guys' information, this is a fantastic tool called Beyond 20. It is a extension for both Firefox and Google Chrome. It is a free extension, and basically what it does is it works with your D&D Beyond account and your character sheets there. If you enable it and you have open a virtual tabletop, whether that be Roll20, Fantasy Grounds. I don't know what all it works with, but I know those two. It does work with those two, and those are two of the big VTTs at the moment. Works with both of those. Basically, what it allows you to do is whenever you roll a dice on your D&D Beyond character sheet, it will also roll it, and whatever VTT you have open in your web browsers. So, it's a very handy tool. DMs, if you open a monster character sheet in its own tab, it will also work on those on those monsters. And I will show you. I can show you real quick what I mean. So, real quick, make this big. So we'll just real quick open up Aarakocra, but not like this. It needs to be opened in a separate tab. You can right click on this and open a new tab, or you can third click on it or go here this way as well. And what it does is it gives you these little icon options, buttons, etc. When you click on one, it will be displayed in your in whatever VTT you're using. So if I make this small, you can see the chat over here, and I come down here. Let's say this thing throws a javelin. It will, actually it may not show up on this one because it rolls it as a whisper. So I will have to
override it.
Well, no, I will bring over because I'm not showing anything that's revealing at the moment on mine. So here's what it rolled, and then you can see over here in the chat that it rolled a 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. I can click on the javelin here in the chat. Again, it'll roll damage, same as it would there. If I come back here, the javelin, I can also click on the dice right here, and it'll also roll it. It's a fun little tool for those who are using a VTT as well as D&D Beyond for all of your games and stuff like that. It can be kind of annoying with how the setup is, but if you're okay with the switching between tabs and stuff like that, it would be a great tool. They are not sponsoring this video, by the way. I just like to share things that I find enjoyable. So,
As much as we would like to be sponsored by them.
yeah, so
That would be dope.
it would be amazing.
If
But
anybody from D&D Beyond is listening today.
sponsor us. No. But yeah, no, it's like I said, it's enjoyable. I find it fun, at least from a DM's perspective. As a player, I don't have a lot of experience with it as a player.
Which is why us players are kind of testing it.
Yeah, as a forever DM, Curse got thoroughly a hold of my time. And so some of the players will be testing it tonight. And for your guys' knowledge, if you don't feel comfortable using it, if you don't think that everything is there, don't use it. It's fine. If you're unsure of what the difference would be, or you're confused by what we're already using, don't use it. Stick with what you know something about. So, and with that, I think we should go ahead and go into a brief recap of what occurred last week. I don't believe anybody needs inspiration. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You're wrong.
You need inspiration, Katya?
I do, but I'm also busy looking at this thing, so I won't do the recap.
Okay.
I can see some things I'm gonna have to change on here on the beyond 20.
Yeah, there are settings that you guys can mess with as well for that as well. So, yeah. So, with that, then last week you guys had a conversation after exploring the entirety of the council building. And you guys had this conversation with one of the members of Torben's court. I believe his name was oh god, I'm really blanking on it today, guys. I'm terribly sorry.
Hold on, pulling it up now.
Quasar? No, not Quasar. Sorry.
Gortom, yeah, thank you.
Gortom.
Yep.
His name is Dude.
Huh?
His name is Dude.
Right. So yeah, so he Goliath male with a power since the day he came into power. He's the current head of the family for the Champions Ward, and the Tam family. And he basically had a conversation with the party, telling them that Torben wants to meet and to talk with them. This was in the middle of the night, and the time frame that he had said was not tomorrow night, but the night after. Denock had questioned why, to not really get a straight answer from him. And the party then returned to Denock's uncle's abode, the June estate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, just making sure I'm correct here. Where he was greeted by Inran and Rel, who both extremely tired, but extremely happy to see the party alive and well. They
also, real quick, Denock did really try and push for actually meeting the next day ahead of Torben's schedule.
Yes, he did. Due to suspicion of chicanery, basically.
Yeah.
Denock was pushing for something like that.
He was eventually convinced otherwise and agreed for Torben's time.
Sweet.
Well, there was a message passed along as well, but to Torben himself. And the party then proceeded to use one of the scrolls that they found in the dragon's hoard, of the raised dead, where they brought back one of Dinok's parents using Valinar's newly found gift in order to revive the other Dinok's other, oh my goodness, excuse me, other parent, before the party eventually made their way to bed into a long rest. The night goes relatively peaceful and uneventful for you guys. The rooms, I would imagine you guys would have taken some individual rooms for once and slept very soundly. And as the morning dawn begins to bring you guys to consciousness, and you having a full 8 hours, but just barely, of your long rest, Dinok. There's a voice in your head that will greet you like the morning sun. I heard you wish to meet tonight. I can arrange that if you would rather meet on the night of the twin moons. And that's all you hear. As that is 25 words exactly. So, familiar voice of Torben.
Dinok thinks for a moment, then focuses on the response.
Okay.
I have been convinced otherwise. We will meet at the previously said time. That's all he says.
Okay. After some time, you do get another message and just goes, "Understood. I look forward to our meeting then. Rest well." That's the end of the message.
So did he use a second spell? Can I focus on another reply?
You can, yes. If you wish to reply to him, that is. Otherwise, you can just leave it.
Prepare yourself. We're coming for you.
Okay. There is not a response to that one.
Very well.
I will say, if he did mention effectively an event, if you so desired, if you wanted to know more about it. He referred to the night of the twin moons.
Yeah, that did interest me.
So go ahead and just make I would say whatever is higher for you in terms of history or religion.
Equal.
Okay, cool.
But you know what? That does sound fairly ritualistic, so I'm going to go with a religion check on this one.
Okay, go for it.
I mean, take your pick of 16 or 16.
Yeah, I love it. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What was that?
Who'd we lose?
Did we lose someone? I think everyone's still here.
Yeah?
Oh, we lost someone momentarily.
Okay.
I'm still here.
Okay.
I don't know. It's
shit, I have that
magic.
open.
Valinar, are you with us? Valinar? Valinar?
I'm a Valinor in a valley world.
Well,
He may be the one disconnecting. Maybe he can't hear us.
maybe. Okay. So,
Oh, yeah, there you go. Can't hear anything.
all right. So, with a 16, you basically what you know is that the Night of the Twin Moons is a cycle of the moons of Mundus. Mundus, unlike Earth, actually has 2 moons.
Ooh.
Named Thea and Reyna. Um, both are very heavily connected with a presence in the supernatural, effectively. Anything that exists that really shouldn't. So this classifies pretty much all of your aberrations and a lot of your cognitive and aware undead. So like vampires, liches, etc.
So he's effectively getting help, probably.
So there are rumors that on nights of the twin moons that creatures that are supernatural in this sense are more powerful than normal. It is a fairly rare occurrence. I believe I counted this out before, and it only occurs. I want to say it's like twice a year. Something like that. I'd have to go back through.
That sounds about right for a lunar cycle.
I'd have to go back through and count through all the months and stuff. But basically, they have one moon has a 16-day cycle and the other one has a 21-day cycle. So the probability of them, so it's a very small. It doesn't happen terribly often. But it is believed that Thea, the moon Thea, is mostly responsible for this, because a lot of other people know that or believe that Reyna, and because you're getting this because you rolled a religion check, that Reyna is kind of like the one of the ancient 5, one of the children of the gods that created the moon. And so Reyna is the moon in a sense, the twin celestial to the sun, which is Rena, or no, sorry, Rena. Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. Rena.
So.
But that's pretty much all you reveal with a 16. So as you're having that conversation and contemplation in your head, what are the rest of you doing as the morning sun begins to wake all of you?
Well, I'm still sitting up in bed and stretching and yawning. Clearly.
After a few nights of sleeping on a hard and dank cave floor.
Oh, yeah.
I understand. And sleeping in a nice comfy bed is very relaxing.
I don't want to get up, but I know I got things I need to do. Should probably get some coffee.
Actually, you know what? Just for the sake of ease, I'm going to say, Cardin, you and John had bunked in a room together because of space. So when you wake up, Cardin, John is not in the room.
Okay.
But you do happen to see a rough piece of paper on like the pillow.
Cardin is going to attempt to read the paper. Because he can read, it's just slow.
Yeah.
It's John's handwriting.
It is.
Yeah.
It is John's handwriting. It is fairly sloppy, and it's big. It's like big printed on this piece of paper, and it effectively reads, "Gone out to do from my own stuff. Will return. Don't wait up." Is effectively what it reads.
Hello?
Carden,
Oh, there he is.
um,
There he's back.
I'm
Carden.
kind of back.
Mhm. Okay, so Carden holds up the note. He's like, "Well, I better show this to the others." He sort of just shrugs, puts on all of his gear, and like goes down for breakfast.
I imagine putting on all of his gear is him literally just stuffing weapons into different various belt pockets and stuff. That's him getting ready for the day.
His tool
That's
belt.
literally Carden getting ready.
Carden's tool belt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, are we sure it's a belt or not just his pants?
It's a lot of belts.
So you're a Final Fantasy character. Got it.
I was gonna say that. Damn it.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll drag myself out of bed, get myself dressed up, and ready to go for the day. Because I heard something. Last I heard, we were going to go talk to some aboleths or something, and I want to be ready.
There was mention of that. There was also mention, I believe, of shopping with the gold that you guys had acquired previously.
Oh, nobody told me about that. Maybe I wasn't invited. Hmm.
Is this side note? Did I miss anything important?
No.
Not that I can think of.
Not that I have been able to share yet.
Okay.
Yeah, did you hear Denox's kind of conversation with Torben?
That was literally the last thing I heard.
Then that was pretty much all you heard. I gave him a little bit of lore about the moons, because Mundus has 2 moons. But at the moment, Denox is the only one that knows that anyway. So
Okay.
yeah. So you guys, I would imagine you guys would all meet with Enran, Zalpip, and Rel in the morning for breakfast in the dining common hall, basically.
I imagine so.
I will say, for the sake of convenience, that you all arrive there.
When
Sweet.
Denox comes in, he comes in grumbling and very, very pissed off at this point.
So you look like normal.
More so than. It looks like I've been dealing with you for 24 years.
Say again?
It looks like I've been dealing with you for more than 24 straight hours.
Well, I mean, we were only down in the caves together for, what, 2-3 days?
Yes, but we were not in constant.
Ah.
It looks like
see.
I look about as pissed off as if I had been arguing back and forth with you about that damned mirror forest for more than 24 hours.
Ah, I see.
Here we go again.
I would say I'd be the opposite. I'd be all chipper because I actually had a nice night of sleep. However, I haven't had my coffee yet. Nor have I done anything with my hair.
Denox just comes in muttering under his breath, basically saying things like, motherfucker, fucking fucker, fuck.
Somebody else didn't want to get out of bed, I see.
No. That asshole contacted me again.
Ordinarily, I would ask you to be more specific, but I have to assume you must be talking about Torben.
Yeah.
What did he have to say?
Basically just wanting to ask if we were meeting tonight, and I told him no. But I swear, he's starting to talk to me constantly like he's some kind of damn stalker.
I think he might be.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, it's not like we've been watched or anything the whole time we've been here.
I blink, I turn to Katya, I'm just like, we have been this entire time.
Exactly. He knows where we're at, so we can't really surprise him.
Hey, Balinar.
Yeah.
Can you make a wisdom check for me?
Okay. Even though I'm wearing that amulet?
Mm-hmm. It's a check, not a save.
Oh.
8. Okay. Thank you.
Alright.
Alright.
Romulus knows.
But Enoch does not.
I know.
You feel no different, Valinar.
Okay.
Continue.
Is Zalpip at the table?
He is currently eating.
Teacher, how many spells can you list off the top of your head that can be used specifically for spying on a group like ours?
I'm going to give him an intelligence check. Don't mind me.
Not minding at all.
There are several different divination or arcane abilities, but off the top of my head, 3 or 4.
And how many would a vampire of... I'm gonna go with some renown probably have access to? Guesstimate.
Well, vampires
Most.
typically have their abilities from gained over. Oh, excuse me. I don't even have anything to drink, and I'm burping. Over the years of their existence. Most. You're asking about sending?
No, I'm just talking about general spying spells.
Oh. Well, it varies. Some spellcasters turn into vampires. For example, if and he gestures to Valinar, your friend here were to turn into a vampire, he would have several different ways in which he could spy on people. Same as if you were to do it. So it kind of depends on what the vampire's origins were and what he studied, essentially. It varies. And I can't remember. Have you guys told Zalpip about Torben and your guys' original meeting with him?
Pretty sure we did.
And did you tell him also about the Sleeping King? Or his connection, or Torben's connection to the Sleeping King?
Again, pretty sure we did.
Okay, I'm just making sure so that I don't, F up my lore here.
I'm just thinking,
I believe so, yeah.
Enoch would have. If we never covered it, that'll be on me.
Okay, that's fine. And he will answer with based off of what I know, though, Torben should not be as powerful as he is based off of his time as a vampire. He's a wild card due to his connection with the Sleeping King. His power is drawn from something that is not natural, effectively. who's to say how many times he has the ability to send you a message or spy on one of your friends?
Enoch stops for a minute, thinks to himself, unnatural. And tonight is a night of the twin moons.
Zalpip thinks for a moment. Yeah, yes it is.
Ah, shit, that's why he mentioned it.
Others may gain abilities that others consider to be unnatural.
There's something wrong with you.
He's just making a reference. It's fine.
Also, just for your knowledge here, Denoc, I did the math because I was curious. The twin moon on this planet occurs every 336 days. There are only 392 days in a year. So it literally happens once a year, the night of the twin moons.
For lore's sake, it's confirmed. Yes, Denoc did explain to Zalpip everything about the Sleeping King.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Note master.
Right? Oh my god.
We have our dungeon master, we've got a note master, then we have the guy with the keen mind bullshit.
Yeah. And
that was in session
Oh jeez.
41.
You are literally the Marisha of our group, and if you don't know what that reference is, good. Stay here.
I don't get it, so...
I'll tell you when you're older.
What? I'm the oldest one here!
Don't question it.
I'm kidding. It was... So, that's a joke. Marisha is one of the cast members of Critical Role.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Fair enough.
Yep. So, yeah. So
I can accept this.
Fun fact for you guys. I've actually created a calendar for this world of all 392 days. With years and...
Free time.
Huh?
Free time.
More like a Don John generator. But yeah.
Okay.
So.
You mind throwing that on our Discord? Maybe just screenshots of it?
I'll figure something out after stream. So I'll figure something out after stream. Because I don't know how to do that, and I don't want to try and do that while we're playing. So you guys continue to have breakfast.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Just because I'm trying to do all my preparations for the day since we had the long rest. Were we going to be going shopping or anything like that today?
That was a group question.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I have plans for both shopping and going to meet the aboleths. Because I don't know what you guys are going to do.
Well, do we have time for both? That we've got an awful lot of gold to spend. I don't know if we will be able to manage both. However, the better prepared we are to go see the aboleths, the better.
Well, Zalpip will speak up. Actually, no, let's make this Enran, because he would have thought of this when you guys mentioned it to him last night. If you're going to go speak with the aboleths, they're found deep underwater. And if I'm not mistaken, none of you can breathe underwater.
Actually, I can, if I use Alter Self.
And that spell lasts for 1 hour. What do you plan on doing if you're down there for more than 1 hour?
Re-upping it every hour?
For how long? Could you manage that? What if you get into a fight and you lose concentration?
I see. Yeah, that would be a problem.
I would advise, if none of you can cast water breathing, to go into the market and pick up a spell of water breathing.
Ooh, that sounds very to the point. And Dinok, say we were to conveniently find a scroll of water breathing. About how long do you propose it would take for you to, say, learn said spell?
Water breathing is what level?
3rd.
If I remember right, it's half hour. It's hour plus half hour for every level, correct?
I will just double check instead of guessing because
I believe it's 24 hours.
No, I think it's an hour for every level.
It is 24 hours.
No, to learn it, it will last for 24 hours.
Learn it. Oh, learning it? Yeah, I don't know. You got me there.
I'm looking. I believe it's an hour. An hour for every level.
Yeah, I know you sent me a timetable once, but I'm not able to find it.
Maybe it's under wizards.
I'm looking. I just don't see it on here, which is weird.
Let's say an hour, just for.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's an hour.
24 hours.
No,
for
an
each
hour.
For each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold pieces.
There you go. Where did you find that at?
Player Handbook, page 114, under the green box that says your spell book.
Wait, what spell
I see.
are we talking about?
Water breathing. We're talking about copying it into his spell book. Yep. So for each level, it takes 2 hours, 50 gold pieces to do. But it would be half. It's not a necromancy spell though, so it would be 2, 4, 6 hours and 50, 100, 150 GP of ink and paper. Or you could just buy the scroll, cast it using the scroll one time, and have it for 24 hours.
But we don't know how long we might be down there.
Hopefully
what if we're
not
captured?
24 hours.
What if we're captured?
Then we're fucked more than usual.
Sweet.
Because at that point, well, bad things are happening, doubtlessly. How much does Dinok know about the aboleths?
Make a history check for me. Let's see how much you know.
Yep, this will depend on tell us how much he says.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Okay. 24. You know a fair bit about the aboleths. The aboleths are primarily like guardians for the Leviathan, and they will pretty much undoubtedly attack people on site that don't have a good reason to be there. There have been very few communications with the aboleth themselves, but sometimes people do have business with them, so to say. It's a usually very rare, and you also know that probably at least once every couple of years, there's one idiot mage who, on a dare, while they're in school, on a dare goes diving into the water to never be seen again.
Hashtag Kadia.
But in terms of like their abilities, they're not necessarily super dangerous if you could get them on land or into a dry spot. It's the fact that they're in water and that their abilities are kind of better in water than they would be on land, that they become a problem. And if there's more than one, they can be very difficult to handle.
My question is, does he know about this last ability?
That's
Like I said,
is a question.
That's what would change Denox's response.
Are you referring to the enslave or the psychic drain?
Enslave.
Okay. I would say no, because because that is something that either nobody has learned about. Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Roger that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I would say you would probably know about the rest of them, though. All right. What do you guys wish to do? Because we're already an hour in. Do you guys want to go shopping? Do you guys want to go? Although we started late, we're not actually an hour in.
Oh yeah. It wouldn't hurt to also prepare, since we'll already be at the market, for us to prepare for our meeting with Torben as well, just in case he doesn't play fair.
I'm thinking he may be occupied all day preparing for something for tonight.
What happens tonight again? I must have zoned out.
When Torben contacted me this morning, it almost seemed like he was specifically mentioning the Night of the Twin Moons, a once-a-year event that boosts the magic of unnatural beings, things like undead and vampires.
Oh, that's not good. When is this? Is that
tonight?
Tonight. Well, it's a good thing we're not meeting with him tonight then, like we wanted to.
On the other hand, it also gives him a chance to become more powerful for tomorrow's meeting.
Or
also, the best case scenario. I'm sorry, what was that?
Maybe it gives him enough power to summon something else like a Draco Lich.
Yes, that's also my fear.
I mean, we already destroyed the last one with the help of John. Speaking of,
where is he?
Where is John? He hasn't come down to breakfast yet.
Carden, I know you were bunking with him.
I hand up. I just said, "Well, he left this note."
Note.
Yeah, it's like he committed suicide or something.
I'm sorry. What?
What?
I just imagine like the note's in his hand, and he blinks, and it's no longer in his hand, and Denox's furiously reading over it, or whoever's closest to Carden.
I would have gone over and grabbed it.
Yeah, but basically, John's saying, "I got to go deal with something. You know, go do your thing. Don't wait up. I'll catch up." Kind of a thing. It is most definitely his handwriting.
That idiot.
Where could he possibly go without? He's stuck on the island. Does that mean we can't actually leave here until we meet up with him again, or are we just going to leave him here? I mean, what personal business could he possibly be attending to on an island he's not native?
Uncle Enron, teacher, did either of you see our companion John?
Nope. Not with those rolls.
This might be an awkward time to mention this, but when we first arrived on the island, I'm fairly certain I saw someone I knew.
What do you mean?
Just that. I could have sworn I saw someone I knew when I went to take a look, they were gone.
So basically, corner of the eye, I know that person, but no details, kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah. Makes me wonder if John saw something similar, or maybe got a better look at something than I got a look at that person.
Or maybe something from his past has risen up here that he had to take care of. I mean, if Torben can do it, who knows what else could.
Much as I hate suggesting this, for now, we will continue on.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if John does not show up within a few days after our business is concluded and we defeat Torben, wring his scrawny neck like the vermin he... Yes, after we clear up our troubles, if he does not show back up in, I'd say 3 days afterwards, Valinar, do you mind casting a sending spell to ask him then?
At that point, yeah. I was thinking about doing it tonight before bed, but...
Well, I mean, I suppose that would work as well.
I'm sure he understands the risk associated with leaving us for personal business. That as busy heroes, we can't wait for him.
I would just like to know if he has a time scale in mind.
That would be nice. Yes, I'd hate to have to leave him behind.
Or
He's
if he knows the city.
he's too great. He is too great an ally.
And too good of a friend.
I'll miss his healing touch.
Oh, I'm sure he'll miss his touch.
All right, so you guys are planning on going to the market?
Yes.
Enough of that.
On the way over, Valinar's going to pester for 200 gold to buy a couple things.
I mean, Denock, I believe, wrote down
Yep,
all
I'm
of the...
pulling up the money list. You said 200 gold?
Yeah.
Done.
Fantastic. Thank you.
What's gold?
How much do we have in our pot?
We currently have 105 platinum and 7,000, now 208 gold. Plus any personal money we have before.
Well.
Now do remember, a good chunk of this will be used to pay our mages.
Yes, because they are doing wonderful work, but we also have to... We also had to make sure we have enough materials for ourselves.
Oh yes, of course. I'm just saying don't drain the entire...
Well, no, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm a little better at saving money than that.
Valinar's going to stare at his robes.
There we go. How much money do I actually have on me?
Last shopping trip you did, Katya, how much did you spend?
I bought a horse using my personal money.
Denock actually physically looks around. And where is said horse?
I had to give up the horse because I couldn't bring him with us. John's family has. But I'm still not broke.
I'm still going to consider that frivolous spending.
If I had enough money to buy everybody a horse, believe me, I would have.
Now I'm half kind of curious as to what Denock's going to say when he sees what Valinar buys.
We'll find out. So, we will head to the market then.
We are going on an adventure.
Okay.
To the market.
Alrighty. Denock, you lead them down the city streets that you know fairly well. and eventually arrive at a local shop. You know this to be a relatively reliable shop that has a lot of different goods for both adventurers, everyday needs, and more. So, essentially, if you guys can think of anything that you may need, you can pretty much buy it here. This shop is ran by a human male who's got this not like overly fancy design, but it's like a long sleeve shirt and like a vest with kind of this like dark purple color with this white long sleeve undershirt, and he's wearing kind of like these black pants. He's kind of got this maybe midway length, almost mullet-like brown hair. And as he sees you guys walking in, he goes, "Ah, greetings! Welcome. What can I do for you guys today?"
Oh, we're looking on a healing potions group.
Hold on, real quick.
Mhm.
What ward are we in?
I would imagine you guys would still be in the future ward. Or would you like to venture elsewhere?
Then if we're in the future ward, it would be Dorcas, a furbolg male.
Mm-hmm. He seems to be out at the moment.
Ah, okay.
I mean, you're welcome to ask him where that guy is.
Excuse me, last time I was here, friend Dorcas was running?
Yes. Dorcas is my boss. He's gotten somewhat busy lately and has had to hire some new individuals. So I am a stand-in. I have his name somewhere.
Yep, exactly. Gotcha. Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Dorcas. Yeah. Oh, I know some of these names are he. There it is. The name is Zathin. Anyway, how can Zathin help you today?
Who wants to go first?
Well, I asked about healing potions. What kind of what healing potions do we have at the party?
Does anybody have healing potions? Because
One.
to my knowledge, you guys
And I
have
have-
very few.
I
And
have
I
a
have
potion
healing
for
salve.
healing.
I'm currently out of healing pots.
Yeah, it would be a good idea to pick up some of those.
I don't need a healing potion. What are you talking about?
Cardin, you're going to need a healing potion. Believe me.
Do we need to
Healing
remind
potions.
you about that? What was it? A troll?
I was much weaker then.
Hmm.
Weaker,
Right.
but you're still stupid.
Not quite. I can add 2 plus 2.
All right, what's 2 plus 2?
5.
Yes, Cardin, close
I want
enough.
to insight that bullshit.
I honestly half expected you to say 22.
That would have been funny.
So like I said,
So-
Why do I not see your role in my chat?
Because he didn't roll insight. I don't know
Oh.
what you're trying to insight. 2 plus 2 is not 5.
I want an insight to see how right he is.
Sure, roll an insight check. I thought that was going to be a natural 1 for a moment.
I mean, that would have been hilarious.
Yes, it would have been. I mean, seems kind of far off to me.
Yeah. Yes, Cardin, you're absolutely right. 2 plus 2 is indeed 5 if you were an idiot.
Dumbass, I already knew it was 4. I was seeing if you were paying attention.
Yes.
Right.
How many healing potions do you have, and of what quality?
Well, I have several of the lower variety, the standard. I have... that was actually really good. I have 9 of those.
Ooh.
And I have... Let me grab these other...
We'll buy your entire stock.
So we will do... And I have 3 greater and 1 superior.
What are your asking prices?
Trying to find the price on these, honestly, because there's supposed to be a static price on them, but I'm not finding it. I know the regulars are 50 gold pieces each. So you can...
See, 50 times 9 is 450 gold pieces.
Yeah, I rolled really well on that one. How many do you guys want to buy?
We'll take the entire stock.
Enoch raises his hand, takes a breath to counter-argue, and then it's like, that might not be a bad idea, actually. We finally have the gold for something like that.
Okay. So, okay. I'm just gonna pull this up elsewhere. I don't remember where it is. So the greater healing potion. How many did I say of those? So there are 3 of those, 3 greater healing potions. Those are 250 gold each. And the superior is 2,500 gold pieces each.
Much as we would like to have those.
What was that last one? I'm sorry, I zoomed out.
2,500 for a superior.
Oh. Yeah, that might be a bit much.
Keep yourself zoned in, please, Katya.
I'm sorry, I'm going through my belongings at the moment. I'm making sure everything's here. I can't help but feel that something's missing.
So go ahead and mark down that you guys have 9 potions of healing. Each one of those deal 2d4 plus 2 healing.
Now it's how much? 450?
400 even, I believe, is what Katia said it was.
Yep.
Okay.
He is wrong. It is 450. 550 times 9.
It's 450. Why'd you say I was wrong?
You said 400.
I said 450.
Oh.
And then you corrected me saying,
Yeah, that's my bad. It's still 450, so sorry.
Yeah. I can do maths. I'm not Carden.
And don't forget, you'll still need to purchase a scroll of water breathing if you guys are looking to get one of those and you're not sure what those run.
I get a scuba suit.
A what?
Those are typically made by order. He takes a look at you. Let me roll an insight check for him. It's not bad. There are, and he points kind of to the back. There's a couple machine's not the right word. Tools on the back wall there, made of different kinds of chain that I think you would enjoy, my large friend.
I go look at the things that are made of chain.
Okay.
by the way, before you walk off, potion distribution suggestions. If anyone wants to counter-argue, I am open. Cardin gets 2. Valinar gets 2. Katya, Asta, and I each get 1. The rest are put into the bag of holding.
That sounds fair. How many does John get?
The 2 would go into the bag of holding?
Mm-hmm.
How many does John get?
John's not here.
I know.
2d4 plus 4?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, just so the party remembers, I do have a potion of supreme healing, but I'm kind of keeping that in case anything goes really wrong.
Yes, that is our last resort.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't believe when I rolled that. Although you could try and sell it if you really wanted to.
Nah.
That could potentially gain you a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yeah.
You don't know though because you're not asking.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at what it could cost or what it could be. So.
Deanoch may have to roll a intelligence check to think of an idea about an offering to the aboleths. To see if he thinks of this idea.
Sure.
Yeah, he thinks of the idea.
Yeah. And what is that idea? Of using the superior healing potion as an offering? Or...
No, but I was thinking about talking to Uncle Enran. Now that we're here, and it's a little late, but I will bring this up to the party.
Okay. Real quick, Valinar, I know you said you were going after something specific. If you already have the gold for it, unless it's like an extremely rare object, just...
It's 2 spell components just worth 100 gold each.
They're not like super rare material, right?
It's a jeweled horn and a glass eye.
I would say you could acquire both of those here.
Sweet.
So, there you go. Let's finish up the shopping, and then we'll say you guys are walking and you can bring the idea up to them at that point in time. Okay, Deanoch?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have scrolls of water breathing?
I do have a couple of those. Let me grab them for you. He kind of walks away for a minute. Let's see how it could...
While he's back there, I do call out to the back. If you have anything that includes a group water-breathing spell, that would be wonderful.
He hollers back. Water-breathing targets up to like 10 creatures, I believe.
Huh. I had not known that spell before.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So he comes back and he kind of goes, I actually have 2. Since you guys have already purchased so much from me, I can sell them to you guys at the base cost of what it costs to create one. Unfortunately, it is still fairly expensive, and that it is 500 gold apiece. Yeah.
Oh, but
That's
we
what it-
need.
Spell creation is expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 150 gold. So
After my spell components, I have 5.
We
But-
have enough money, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys got
It's-
a lot from that.
Yeah, it's not something
Dreadnought.
frivolous either. It's something we need.
Mm-hmm.
And one we could use to
It would be
talk to the aboleths. The other one I could learn the spell. So that we don't need a scroll anymore.
That is, they do have 2, and I rolled for that. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So
Perfect number.
I know, right? Like perfect. I was hoping for a 1, but I didn't get it. So yeah.
We will take both.
Mighty kind, thank you for your patronage. Oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna go over to Carden as he goes to the back. Carden, what you see, there are 2 things that kind of catch your eye. One of them is like this thin rapier that goes to that begins to go to its point, but as it gets to the point about halfway down, the rapier looks like it is broken in different pieces, and it looks like those pieces are connected to one another through a small chain, and it appears to be attached in that direction, kind of in that way where it still kind of whips out and forms kind of the sides and point of like a rapier. Looking at the sign, this is called a chain rapier. The rapier is made of metal links and is light. It basically functions as a whip or a rapier. So the other thing that catches your attention is what looks to be, the best way I can kind of describe it is kind of like a harpoon gun. It looks like a there's a stock of some kind that it looks like you kind of grab hold of and hold, and on top of it there's like this cylinder that has a length of rope kind of tied into, as well as like a small grappling hook that sticks out of one end of the cylinder, and the name on it is simply grappling gun.
Arden shouts back, how much for both of these?
The grappling gun, the one with the hook on it, is 500 gold pieces, but the chain rapier is only 100. Actually, no, it'd be cheaper than that. Hold on.
Grappling.
Well, no, it wouldn't be, because it's.
What did you find, Carden?
Would you guys like an easier way to climb things?
Better than our experiences with the climbing ropes we've had so far.
Yeah.
I rope once.
So there are some stipulations to this weapon, and that is the gun itself only has the ability to use 30 feet of rope. Any more than that, and the shot becomes very inaccurate.
While I'm here, I have some things that I might be able to offer up for sale.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm searching through my pack and pulling out stuff that I don't need, I'll let you finish what you were doing though first.
Okay. And there are a variety of other things here as well, Cardin. You do see another one similar to the grappling gun design, but it looks like it has it has two tubes that kind of run down along the base of the pommel that look like it would almost stab you in a sense, which you kind of think is kind of weird. But then it kind of goes into this large, almost circular shaped design that then comes out as a small cylinder on the end. Above game, it looks like a hairdryer, but it like stabs you into the arm at one point. This is called a heat gun.
Oh! I say, what does this, cylindrical pointy contraption do?
Do be careful with that. That is a heat gun. It's modified. It's a modified welding tool of sorts, to be more powerful for adventurers like yourself. What happens is those prongs on the end, they actually pull a little bit of your own body heat into the weapon itself, and projects a line of fire that you can attempt to hit a target with. It's quite effective, actually.
May we see a demonstration of this?
Certainly. Would you like to test it out yourself?
Very much so. This is...
Yeah.
Who's the inventor?
This would have been invented by... This would have been invented by Krepthos, his brother. I cannot remember his name, but him and his brother made this together. Krepthos is a blacksmith. His brother, however, is kind of a little bit of a enchanter.
Yes,
artifice things.
I remember them. Yes, yes.
So
this does look like their work. That makes so much sense.
It's very crude looking, which makes sense. And he goes, "Bring that one with you, good friend." And he'll actually take you out back to where you can actually see like a demonstration area, kind of like a firing range. So who would like to fire it?
Oh, Denock is interested.
Okay. All right. So.
But as a lizard, would Denock have enough heat?
I'm a dragonborn?
It doesn't work that way per se. That's just how it's flavored. So, Denock, go ahead and make a dexterity check for me to kind of aim at a target. You are not proficient in this weapon, so it is effectively a ranged attack, which is just dexterity. 8. Okay. It is a non-moving target. You hit, but it's not like a direct bullseye. So
more like I hit the arm or something.
Right. I would like you to go ahead and roll 2d6 cold damage for me.
2d what?
6.
Cold
damage. You take 2d6 cold damage. This is what the effect that you suffer as you plant your arm, and as you fire, the prongs jump into your arm, and kind of you can feel this kind of like draining sensation. You take 3 points of cold damage as the ray of fire that is unleashed. Go ahead and roll 4d10 for me.
Oh, sacrifice worth making, I see.
So it'll deal.
It's rolling. There we go.
Round. So you deal 25 points of fire damage to the target, practically incinerating like the left arm off of this like humanoid kind of target. And he goes, "Oh, that was a very good shot."
Catching a cold there.
I do believe I see how this works somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
It does drain something from me. Yes, and ouch, by the way. I know you said something about draining heat. I didn't expect it to actually hurt that much.
He kind of just shrugs and goes, I'm not one that really wishes to test. I just,
You just sell it, yes, I understand.
Exactly. That was a really good roll on 4d10, too.
Yeah!
Would you still try it out if he told you it was going to bite back?
I mean, yes.
I mean, he did kind of warn you.
Easy for you to say. I mean, you are covered in thick scales. Someone like me with dainty, delicate hands might not be able to handle such a thing.
You are welcome to try, sir.
No, thank you. I have other ways of producing flames.
And you said how much is this?
The heat gun is $750. So about $250 more than the grappling gun, for obvious reasons.
How many times a day can this fire?
As long as the wielder can give up part of its energy, essentially.
And how long does the fire beam go?
It's instantaneous. So it's an attack roll, so one target.
And distance?
He would not be sure because he would have not seen any other demonstrations other than the firing range here, which the firing range is maybe 20 or 30 feet. He's not really sure.
So that's not bad.
I mean, yeah, that's
I could,
a good number of decent spells.
When Dorcas returns, I could ask him. He would have a much better idea than what I do.
Where is he today, by the way? Just at home resting, I assume?
I think he took the day off after all of the chain of events of over the last few days. He wanted to spend some extra time with his family.
The thing that flew overhead, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You can kind of see him grabbing the back of his neck, just, yeah. We also have a variety of jewelry, if any of you guys are interested in some magically enhanced jewelry.
I was going to ask about that, actually. You have piqued attention.
Cardin actually says he would be interested in the essentially whip rapier question marks.
It is a chain rapier, so it functions as a whip and as a rapier. So bear in mind, a whip is dexterity based, and but a rapier, I believe, is versatile, so you could use it as strength.
I think so.
Yeah, rapier is versatile. That's why my other character, Alexi, uses a rapier.
No, he doesn't.
Well, not anymore.
So, anyway. But yeah,
actually, rapier's just finesse.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, hey, isn't finesse...
Finesse is means it's dex based.
Just dex based. Okay.
I believe so.
Finesse meant it could be either. And versatile was meant could be two-hand.
Is it? You might be right.
Alright, hold on, I'm looking.
Rule checking!
Yeah, I know. Anyway, continue. What else are you guys interested in?
Oh, finesse is either or. Strength or dex.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you guys wanted to see some of the jewelry.
Yes. But before that, I want to add to my own funding. I have a few monster parts that I'd like for somebody to take off my hands.
We don't... I don't know if I can take such things off of your hands, as we do not create these magical items. We buy and resell.
It would be more to go to Krepthus's blacksmithery.
Yes,
I mean, selling them as perhaps spell components. Certainly, you can use those and turn them around to somebody who might have a use for them. What if I told you they were from creatures that you might not find on this island?
I wouldn't know what to do with them, even if I had them, sir. Mm-hmm. Now, if you had a creature's, say, like a looks at Denog, like say maybe a green dragon scale that has gone, rogue or something like that, then that is something that we would purchase because that would be an investment for us. So if you had a rare kind of flesh, kind of shudders at the word, then that is something that could be
so like a vampire's flesh.
No, that vanishes in sunlight.
Oh.
Also, Cardin points out, it also seems like there's been a lot of them lately.
So then how do you explain this vial here that I have of this vampire flesh? And I'll pull out my...
Why do you have vampire flesh?
Actually, it's Torben's flesh from his old body. I don't remember why I kept it.
Oh God. Okay. So you pull out this. I think it's in a vial, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in a vial. It's plugged. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So it is desiccated and.
Yeah, it is very viscous and thick, and it looks like every abomination that you could imagine. That it's very disgusting. You can see that
you're hurting right now. You're like
you can see that Zaeth is very like no.
Where the fuck is that? The damn flesh you took from him that one time?
It is indeed, and I don't remember why I saved it, or I apparently lost it in the bottom of my pack until recently.
Weren't you wondering if that would be a spell component, considering what, or some kind of connection agent?
Possibly, or maybe
you were thinking it was a different. There was a spell that required his flesh to communicate with him after he killed himself.
Maybe.
Let's go look at jewelry and put that away, please.
Let's look at the jewelry. Cardin is just like, let's look at that.
Okay.
Fair. So I can take all this stuff to. Who did you say again?
His name is Krepthus.
Yeah.
Right.
He is the smith. Just down the street over. I do believe it is that way. 2 streets down, correct? Or did he move shops?
Yeah, no, he's still down there. So for the rest of you, what is still available? What is available in his shop is earrings of telepathy.
Oh.
I don't know why I'm going to know about that.
There are barrier rings and a barrier shield.
Barrier rings?
Barrier rings. Okay. Ooh. So, a barrier shield, it is essentially a magical shield that when you take bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage, any of those, the shield absorbs a portion of the damage. Basically, it reduces bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage by 1 point from any source. The barrier ring is a magical shield that, while wearing and attuned to this item, you can use a bonus action to turn it on and gain the benefits of a shield, even if you are unable to wield a shield. So this is mages. You are able to, if you use a bonus action, you can activate the barrier shield. This is a homebrew item, and I may tweak it a little bit in the future. But basically,
a reaction.
Huh?
Basically, it's a reaction shield spell, like what I've got.
No, it's a normal shield. So it gives you +2. It's a +2 to your AC. It's not a reaction. It's a bonus action. +2 to your AC when you turn it on and you have it active. It's a bonus action to do. And I made.
Oh.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it would be considered having that hand like you're holding something, correct?
Only if you're using a shield. As spellcasters, no.
Oh, okay. So you still have a free hand.
Yes, because it's literally being generating this arcane force shield kind of a thing. Have you ever seen Jupiter?
I'm thinking Green Lantern, but sure,
kind of. But have you ever seen Jupiter Ascending?
If I have, it's been a while.
Don't worry about it. Sort of like Green Lantern, he generates it with a ring, but he can still open his hand when that ring is when that shield is open. So
that's cool. I bet you it's not cheap.
The barrier ring is 250 gold pieces each. I do have a limited supply of those, however. I only have one in stock.
I'll take it. I could put forth half the price for my own reserves. If Dinok is willing to grant me enough to cover the other half.
The earrings of telepathy, by the way, you can essentially mentally communicate with another creature that is also wearing the earring as long as they are within 1,000 feet of you.
Sounds like a really powerful message spell.
Yeah, sort of. Those are 500 gold pieces each.
I would like that barrier ring greatly.
You said 250?
Yes, and unfortunately I only have the one in at the moment.
Oh,
but if you return possibly tomorrow, when Dorcas returns, he's actually working on more of those, as well as a kind of a secret project, he says, kind of quoting his fingers.
It may not be tomorrow, but we hopefully will be back soon. Here you go, Katya.
Yes, thank you.
We'll work out. Hey,
so you had
one more question. One more question for the shopkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
You offered the scrolls of water breathing at base price because we've already purchased so much.
Mm-hmm.
Is this 250 the base price or your selling price?
With the enchantment of the barrier rings and how potent that this ability is, it is pretty much as low as I can go.
And don't forget, he's not the actual shop owner. He is just
fair.
Forgive me for saying this, but hired help. He does not
you
have
are
the
quite right, my friend.
He does not have the authority to grant things lower than probably the scrolls. More.
Well, even those were specific items that that Dorcas has been wanting to get rid of for some time.
So they were on clearance.
Not many people decide to go underwater diving here.
Yes,
I don't see the attraction. I mean, what, you have one big lake and it's inhabited by...
Yes.
There.
So, alrighty.
Okay.
So, do you guys
then
have anything
fork
else you guys would wish to do?
I will buy that heat ray.
Okay, so that's
all right. Let me subtract 125 from me.
No, you'll pay it back later. Enoch just paid him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fair.
So 250,
because this
750 for the heat gun, so that's another 1,000. What were you saying, Carden?
What else does, or how much total do we have left again?
Give me a second.
Well, I think you guys just spent 1,450, I believe.
We have 4,758 gold left.
Okay. Carden would like to ask if he could potentially get his hands on that grappling gun, because I think I have an idea of what it can be used for.
Okay. And did you want the chain rapier as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so the two of those would be another 600 gold.
Carden, how many weapons do you have on hand that you have not used?
Not enough. How much is the rapier by itself?
100 gold pieces.
Okay, for the rapier, since it's for personal collection, Carden will hand over 100 from his own pocket, and then CD knock. I know what I'm doing, and he will say, "Okay, we need the harpoon gun, or not the harpoon gun, the grapple gun."
What is your idea, Carden?
You know, since we just fought a flying thing, I can never get close to the flying things to hit it. So if I can hit the flying thing...
That's a smart idea.
And maybe, like, attempt to grapple it myself?
I mean, you were enlarged, though, when that happened. Would the enlargement spell affect it?
Everything you're carrying becomes enlarged, correct?
Yeah.
So will that just make the rope thicker or double its length? That's the question.
I mean, also I could possibly use it to, I don't know, help you guys if we need to go on a cliff.
Yes. As long as you're careful with it and you don't lose it, I think we'd be fine if we bought it. Vara? Katya? Any objections?
Oh, crap.
I don't have any.
Alright, Zathim, how much was it?
500 gold pieces.
Alright, here's your gold. Carden, here's your new tool.
Carden just sort of like takes it and he's like, he just starts petting it.
I'm almost afraid that what I just did is a mistake, but we will learn in the future if it was or not.
Okay. Let's see. Did I make any more notes for that one? I didn't. Okay. So you are not proficient with that weapon. I will say that it. Okay. Anything else you guys are interested in?
Okay, actually, I think right about now, the idea would come to Enoch.
Okay. Fair enough. Just so that Carden is aware, I have added the chain rapier and the grappling gun to your inventory on roll 20, not in D&D Beyond. Okay.
Yep, I see it.
All right, and then actually, real quick before you go to this, Asta, is there anything in this store that sounds interesting that you would like to buy?
Asta. I'll text her.
I mean, it's fine. We'll continue on from here. But yeah, and I will work on creating the barrier ring in
And heat ray.
Yeah, for you guys. I will probably add them initially with Roll20 and then go to the other stuff to D&D Beyond later. So also Katya, don't forget that the barrier shield requires attunement.
Got it.
So if you already have 3 things attuned, which I don't know what they would be,
I only have 2.
Then the barrier ring is your third thing.
Sweet.
And I will just override your AC to 18.
Okay, cool. You're just gonna assume I'm always gonna have it up, huh?
Why not?
With how you fight, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can leave it at 16, and you can change it on your own.
Wait, how do you get up to the same AC as me?
He has Elven Chainmail.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
which means he's got much better AC than me. I think I've got the lowest AC of the group right now, other than my skeletons.
I mean, I think you are correct, but that's because, I mean, you still have a decent AC, but you just don't you have to use mage armor.
I'm constantly using it. Without mage armor, I am the lowest.
Right. Because I think right now you're the lowest as well. You have a 15?
Correct.
I mean, yeah. So you have a 15 AC mage armor because I'm assuming you cast that in the morning because it lasts 8 hours. So technically you are the lowest, but you also have things like shield that allows you to just AC 20 for a minute or for a moment.
There we go.
All right, so you guys purchased the grappling gun, the heat gun, the barrier ring, the chain rapier, and that was it. Okay, so I need to create the heat gun. So you guys, Dinok, talk to the party about what it is you would like to do.
So, I just had a thought. When we go to the aboleths, do you think it would be a smart idea to bring a offering of some kind? Peace offering, maybe?
What would you offer to an underwater creature that can read your thoughts?
That's what I was wondering. I had the thought maybe they would want something, but I didn't know one, so I thought I would ask you if you had any suggestions.
Well, based on what you have told us about aboleths, it would seem likely they would be more interested in maybe information that is not widely known. Secrets and such that perhaps we might know, but they have not had the chance to.
Yes, but what would we know that they don't? I'm pretty sure that if we say anything about the Sleeping King, they might already know.
Damn.
Wow.
5 points of damage to you for 25 points of damage out. Not bad.
Yeah, that's
Anyways.
not bad.
You're good. I just wanted to make sure I had it set up so that it worked properly.
Did you at above game? Did you, as the player, mention anything like they existed before the rise? Can't remember.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, you would have, because that was general information that I gave to you.
Okay. All right.
If you have any secrets about your island that only came about after the rise, that may be worth something, but I'm not sure how much. My plan to meet with them is, on the one hand, if we can get them or the Leviathan on our side against Corbin, I would not be opposed. But
if they know of the world pre-rise, then they would only have information available from your island after the rise, correct?
yes, so
So
anything
then they would
afterwards.
anything from any other island, they might not even know other islands exist. That's a whole wealth of knowledge.
Yes,
Plus,
but how much would they require?
I guess that's up to them. Plus, any information that Cardin might have on happenings from the surface since the rise.
Okay, I forget. Did I say anything about them being... did I say they were ambivalent or hostile to the demons, considering...
To your knowledge, there have not been any dealings with demons. They're not necessarily like they're Switzerland, basically. They got involved in.
They're ambivalent to anything except what interests them.
Yes, which to your knowledge is knowledge.
I suppose Cardin wouldn't be able to offer them much on demons. They are ambivalent about their existence as well as anything else.
We're not really ambivalent about their existence.
I'm saying
just
the
kill
aboleths
them.
are.
If we can, we kill them. If we can't
Cardin,
kill them, we die.
Cardin, the aboleths are ambivalent about their existence.
Okay. I thought you were saying that my tribe was ambivalent about their existence, and I was about to get very.
Hang on, Cardin, you know what the word ambivalent means?
No, I believe he was just guessing.
It's his one big word a day.
He's
at least 3.
I'll allow it.
He's toying with a grappling gun that I'm sure his construction baffles him.
Not
The
really,
details
you
are on
point
that
and
weapon
shoot.
too, by the way, Cardin.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'm just.
Are you actually
showing
firing it?
I'm not actually firing it. I'm just saying the description.
Because I was about to say, if you did fire it, you'd hear about 20 feet away, my leg!
I imagine they would have to make a dexterity save to avoid being grappled.
No, if you hit the creature, it is grappled. That is why the gun is worth 500 gold pieces.
Well, damn, that ain't bad at all.
It's like a giant scorpion crab venture.
It is, yeah, exactly. It's
Ranged.
but the limitation of the range is 30 feet. So that is kind of how that works.
If he had been standing under the Draco Lich, if he was normal size, he would have been able to reach it, as it was only 20 feet in the air, I do believe.
Something like that. Anyway, he's reading the details of it. There's the details of it. Continue.
So yes, knowledge about, I suppose, his tribe's customs and what knowledge Cardin has of their magics might interest them. Knowledge of the demons,
Not so much.
they've probably got it already.
I mean, we are going to them for more information on the Sleeping King.
That
Among
and
other things.
attempting, hopefully, to either at least get them on our side.
Didn't you also want to ask them about pre-rise magics?
Yes.
For your wife's sake. See, we're asking a lot of information from them. We're gonna have to get one hell of an offering.
Your soul.
Sorry, that's already claimed.
Which one, Cardin?
Oh.
That'll do.
Whatever you're looking for, I guess.
Enoch pulls out the mask.
Oh. That is one of a kind. And
One of, I do believe.
one of a kind. One of a kind here, as
Yes.
the location where they were all at was another island entirely. Now, I don't know if those ruins predate the rise or have been built since. But either way, that's surely to be of some value. Trade the mask belonging to the Sleeping King in exchange for information on the Sleeping King.
Or other things, depending on how much they want it.
Fair.
Something does worry me. Didn't Torben mention something about both guardians being dealt with at one point?
Yeah, I remember something like that. Dealt with or indisposed.
Certainly he wouldn't have that kind of power. I mean, you heard the story from Jortam. It took a lot of effort to get a Dracolich under control. And your guardians are more powerful than that.
Doesn't have to control them. He could just distract them.
Or put them to sleep, maybe.
Or, as much as I hate to say this, have some kind of agreement with them.
Who's to say he doesn't have the same going with the Aboleth?
Exactly.
I guess we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah, I'm assuming during this time you guys are walking to the water, correct?
No, we're walking to the blacksmith.
Oh. Oh, you're there.
We're actually standing outside continuing our conversation.
So, you walk to the blacksmith, and you guys actually see another black-scaled dragonborn. Except this guy makes Dinok look like a shrimp. He is massive. He is a thick dragonborn.
Ooh.
And as he kind of hears you guys approach, he kind of turns, and you guys can see this leather apron hanging over his chest, which appears to be bare underneath the blackened scales and there, and this rippling muscle, hard to kind of see, but it's definitely there. And kind of turns to you guys and just, yes, can I help you?
Breakfast. It's been a while.
Dina, long time no see.
Katya under his breath. Not usually one for Dragonborn, but damn.
Last I checked, Dinok, you don't dabble with my expertise. And he gestures to the forge around him.
No, but I did pick up one of your experiments, and I hold up the heat gun.
Very effective, if I do say myself. Brother knows more. He's taps the side of his head, the smart one.
You're not an idiot. You've always had a gift for metal, for carrying out your brother's inventions. The technical side, at least.
Shit, make a flattery check. Persuasion, I guess. Unless you're lying to him, then make a deception.
No!
Okay. Alright. Yeah. Alrighty. He kind of like, thanks, D-Knock. Anyway, what can I help you guys with? And I see you brought friends.
Yes, I've had some adventures. These are some friends I made along the way. Over there's Valinar. That's Cardin. Did you make that grapple gun he's playing with?
He kind of looks at it and goes, "No, that's too crude to be my design."
I figured. But, well, was wanting to make sure. And this is Katya. Over there's Asta.
Hi.
Katya, you said you wanted to trade material components, yes?
Yes, I did. Though, seeing this massive blacksmith before me,
Oh no.
instead of trading for monetary value, I may trade for other things.
Okay.
But I'll have to settle for the money for now, assuming he'll even take them. Surely you have some use for some monster parts.
Perhaps. Let me see. What do we got to work with?
Well, I have on my person, and he starts pulling out things from his bag. I've got 3 fragments of Gloomdrake teeth, picked up from another island, I might add. And then we also came in contact with another creature referred to as a Gloomwing. I've got 5 of its teeth.
Hold on,
and
if you
one
picked up Gloomdrake Dragon was here on this island.
Yeah, the Gloomdrake was the dead thing we found on Isris.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the
Yeah.
Gloomstalker.
Yeah, the Gloomdrake was on Isris. The Gloomwing was here, and I have 3 fragmented Gloomdrake teeth from the Gloomdrake, and 5 Gloomwing teeth and 1 Gloomwing claw.
Okay.
Bunch of bones.
Bunch of bones.
Bunch of bones.
And these are all bones, and they're all bones, right?
Right.
Okay.
All bones.
9 in
what do you make?
total.
Yes. What do you make of these?
Let's give him a. Sure, we'll make it a blacksmithing check. That's pretty good. I could probably do something with all of these. I would say, considering they're not magically enchanted, I don't have to do that. Looks at you. Looks to Denock. 200 gold for the lot.
Oh.
Denock,
That's a lot more.
you know that is pretty overpriced.
Yeah. And Dion's just like, well,
That is a good price.
yes,
Yep.
Or alternatively, oh wait,
careful with where to go here.
well, I'm thinking, is there a way you could forge these bones into an existing weapon to make it stronger?
Depends on the weapon.
I
Well,
suppose if it's magically enchanted, it would be much more difficult, yes?
possibly.
Since we're using the bone, could we use the bone as the hilt and then use big metal as the blade?
Well, what weapon are you referring to? Essentially upgrading.
Well, let's see what you can do with this. And Conti will pull out his, as of this moment, unused wither.
That is a very finely crafted blade. And he puts 2 hands out, 2 large taloned hands, and just goes, "May I?"
Gladly.
You set it into his hand, and he takes a step back and tests the balance and swings it a couple of times.
That sounded like 3 times. 4 times.
Like I said, I said a few times, and you can tell that. Well, a couple of those were also checked. You can tell that as he swings them, that there's a practice to this that he does. Light, incredibly well balanced, appears to be magically enchanted in some nature as well. And he hands it back to you.
Indeed.
In terms of applying bone to that, it may not have a... It would just be an aesthetic kind of design. The bones themselves are not magical, but if they were enchanted, and you wanted to apply them to the weapon itself, there is the possibility of doing that. But it would be more difficult to do.
And possibly more than they're worth.
He kind of shrugs. Depends on what you wish to enchant within it.
Do you do the enchanting here? Or is that something that your brother handles?
That is something I typically recommend my brother handling. That is not something that I do.
Okay. If he's around, may I speak with him?
He actually has a... Let me get him for you. And he steps out of this forge, effectively. And he just literally leans and looks down towards like the building next to him and just goes, "Hey, Kreptos! Kreptos!" And you see a black dragonborn, very similar to Kreptos, but smaller in size, more mage-like.
More like Enoch.
Yeah, it just goes, "What do you want, brother?"
Krepthos, it's been a while.
So we have Krepthos and Krepthos. So. And he just goes, "Enoch, good to see you again."
As you as well. My friend has a magic question for enchanting.
Sure. What is the question? He kind of makes his way over.
Okay. So I have here a few pieces of bone from various creatures we fought. And I want to effectively infuse them with some kind of enchantment in order to bolster a weapon that is also magically enchanted. What are my options and what are the prices?
Well, that depends on what you want it to do. Do you have an idea on what you wish to turn that you wish for this blade to do? What do you want these bones to be enchanted with? The limitations are the limitations of the spells that I have access to, of course, but if you wish to procure or provide a spell that I don't have access to, then that can be arranged. If you provide
Dang it, I should have saved my... Cardin breaks out. Dang it, I should have saved my scroll of greater healing.
He kind of laughs a little bit and just, But depending on what you provide, if it would save you money in that regards, but if you were to say name a spell that I do not have access to, but you thoroughly want that, I would have to procure that scroll, and that would cost me money and therefore cost you more money.
Yes.
But if you wanted a basic spell applied to it, say, like something similar to that of a fire spell, we could enchant it with a basic firebolt, which on a hit provides a little bit of extra fire damage.
Okay. So
here's a question. These are gloom beasts. Would that affect darker spells more?
It would have a more natural affinity for it, but since this is more of a... magic in nature beast. The bones themselves are not magical, but they will have a higher affinity for magic, making it easier and more likely for the enchantment process to take place.
Right.
Which could increase your success rate, as well as lower the amount of times that I have to try in order to get what it is you wish to have.
Well, I have a few ideas already. One option is to infuse it with additional force damage, kind of like the firebolt, but with force power instead. Alternatively, if I could...
You want my axe, Kadia?
What? No. I can't wield your axe. It's too heavy. But this I can. Another idea I have is for it to absorb like, if I attack something, then I could absorb some of its life force back to me. And my last option is, what if it could confuse on a strike?
That is...
Both of those are relatively strong enchantments. One I know I have access to, and the other one I would have to check my library, so to speak.
Okay. So what's the damage?
For which one?
Yes.
He's wanting to know which one would be cheaper for us.
Oh, well, let me... Which...
Well, it really depends on the prices.
Okay, so one spell was Confusion, the other one was what?
Eldritch Blast, essentially.
Didn't you say a third?
I did say a third, but I don't know if it... I don't know what you would call that spell if it were a spell, but...
Probably a Vampiric Touch.
Oh, yeah, Vampiric Touch. So... Vampiric
I like
Touch,
that. Let's do that.
Yeah, Vampiric Touch he would have access to. Confusion he would have access to as a wizard. But he would not have access to Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
So another means...
So that would probably be the more expensive one, huh?
Eldritch Blast would definitely be the more expensive one, unless he used Thunderwave as the alternative source. So he could do it. It would be more roundabout. One is a first level spell, the other one is a third level spell, and the other one I believe is a fifth level spell.
Confusion is fourth.
Fourth level. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
I have it.
I'm aware. So we are looking at these are spell scrolls. So it would be Confusion would be... I'm sorry?
I'm loving how we're spending most of this night
shopping
on... Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
shopping episode.
Hey, honestly, that can be very de-stressing, though. Especially after everything that has happened in game.
Yeah.
The characters could use a little relax and restation, but
spend our hard-earned monies.
Yeah. So we will do a slight markup on that price.
Is there anything that infuses a weapon with the power of friendship?
Yes. The spell friends.
You mean like this? And I cast friends on Cardin.
Cardin, make a charisma. No. Oh no, it's just on you. So you have advantage on charisma checks with him. So,
yeah. Charisma saving throw?
You know what? No, you don't have to do that. You know what?
He just has better chances to charm to...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
I don't suppose Cardin would be willing to help me out with some of the material cost here, would he?
So, guys, while I look up some of this...
Oh yeah, that's...
While I look up some of this information and stuff... Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna look up some of this stuff, and in the meantime, let's take a break.
Okay.
I know it's late for a break, but let's do that anyway.
That gives you the time to look it up.
Yeah, it'll give me some time to look it up and work out some math and stuff like that. So we'll be back here, guys, in like 5 minutes or so.
All right. That sounds.
And we're back. I know that was a quick break, but great. Okay. So, so you're looking at a first level spell, a third level spell, and a fourth level spell, correct?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. So that means he would respond with for the force damage. We're looking at it would take some time, a considerable amount of time actually, but I would be able to do it for about 200 gold, since I know the spell.
All right.
The third level spell you're referring to is Vampiric Touch. I do not know that spell, so that would cost, that in the initial cost price is at least 500 gold pieces. Plus my own time in the enchantment process, you're looking at probably another, say 300, so probably 800 gold pieces.
Ooh, that's a bit pricey.
And for the fourth, well, if third level is pricey, you don't even want to begin at fourth level, my friend.
We do have enough for the third.
Well, let's go ahead and hear the price of the fourth.
Just rip it off like a bandage, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I have access to this one. It is still expensive. I have access to.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at. I'm there with my cost. 3,200 gold pieces.
Oh. Yeah, that might be a little bit out of my price range.
Yes, I would say no to that one.
But the Vampiric Touch, what would happen if we applied some rotting flesh into the mix?
Oh, fuck.
I am not sure.
Like,
Ignore that one. Give me that.
well, no. Really, I'm interested. What if it was like a specific individual that I happen to be hunting now? Would it do anything to the blade, or is this some...
Well, that honestly depends on you. Are you going to be hunting this creature in the next half month?
Of course.
Yes, actually.
Then you would not have the blade.
Oh.
It will take me considerable time to do this. Roughly, provided everything goes flawlessly, probably about half a month's time. Also, Denock, because you're a civilized person, half a month in Mundus is 30 or nope is 28 days.
Well, depending on how long it takes to wrap things up around here, but we may have some additional downtime. And
it takes considerable amount of time to forge magical weapons.
Yes, and a considerable amount of money. But it will it would. I'm not going to readily need the blade right this minute, so I can leave it to have it enchanted and crafted and whatnot, and pick it up before we go to leave. If we have downtime, then we have downtime.
So
unless
you wish to leave the blade here.
Unless my party members have a reason not to.
I don't think we're going to be spending that long here.
Actually, I think I just thought about this. I don't think you can leave the blade with him.
It's a pack blade, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
I mean, it was given by my patron.
Well, you tell me. Well, I guess you don't have that ability yet, so never mind. I don't think you do anyway. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Nope.
Yeah, so...
If it's what I think you're talking about, nope, I don't have that.
So, yeah, never mind. So, you could leave the blade here with him, and it would take him the better part of half a month in order to enchant your blade, assuming everything goes flawlessly and there are no complications with the creation of it.
Meanwhile, Katya is thinking the biggest complication is my patron gets involved.
I just think this is so funny that you're trying to, of what you're trying to do with this blade.
Enhancing a packed weapon.
Well, that, and I know more details about the weapon than Rona does.
Well, I don't.
I know.
And neither does Katya.
I know. It's great. So, what do? Do you leave it with him or not?
Do you think we'll have that kind of time? Or be able to make that kind of time after we're done with Torben?
Well, it all depends on how anxious you are to get to your homes.
I mean, yes, but it wouldn't do any good to arrive unprepared, and it would give you more time with your family.
Valnar kind of shrugs and goes, I don't know, all my family and friends are kind of locked in a jail cell.
Well, then they're not going anywhere, are they?
Yeah, but there's also a small chance they could just be executed at any point.
Hold on, I'm gonna do this for him, potentially.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm like, if he's not gonna do it, I am. That was rude. So.
When you put it that way. If I had known sooner, I would have brought it by here when we first arrived on the island. Maybe it'd be best if I hold off. Though I don't know if I'm going to find a better enchanter anywhere else.
You probably won't. Unless we go straight to Kozar.
Kozar?
Korzar. The Lich.
Oh, the Lich. Oh.
That old raggedy bastard has been around far too long. Let the young bloods have an opportunity, D-Knock. Now, come on now.
I was saying that he's the only one better.
And I bet he'd be able to do it in a third of the time.
That's because
I'm saying that this man here, Krepthos, is the best available one in the entire island.
He kind of like nods. He's like got his arms folded, and he kind of like does that like, "Hey, you're not wrong" kind of a nod.
Korzar only cares for his own projects.
Oh, does the half a month include both enchanting the bones and then grafting them to the blade, or is it just for the enchanting portion? Because if it's just for the enchanting portion, I could have the bones enchanted and then perhaps have it forged elsewhere.
Do you wish to have the bones themselves enchanted and then into the blade? I thought I was just enchanting the blade itself.
No, I was going to have the bones enchanted and then grafted.
Oh, then we're looking at something much longer.
Yes, it would actually probably take me a considerable more time to do bones and then graft into the metal itself. But fortunately for you, that time process wouldn't be as much because I have a gestures to his brother who's gone back to the anvil and just tang away. Have a reliable source of a blacksmith who I know is competent enough to keep up with my magic. So the bones would take about, regardless, it would still take about the 28 to 30 days to enchant the bones. But it would take considerable less time to graft them into the metal since I know I have a competent contact.
Mm-hmm.
But that grafting would also be an additional cost, and that is a case-by-case determination based off of how difficult the blade is to enchant, essentially. Since your
By the way,
blade
Katya, where did you get that?
Oh, it just kind of came to me one day.
The same kind of came to
Deception.
you one day that... Okay.
Deception.
Roll it.
Hang on.
Oh, that's a low roll for me.
I also...
I mean, insight, please.
Everyone can roll insight if you want.
Perfect.
Oh,
Dang it.
it's like your highest stat, dude.
I know.
Are you kidding me? Asta,
You know what?
Asta, roll an insight check for me, please. Like, come on, he's gonna get away with this by rolling a 5? That's some crap.
Roll it out,
Oh my god.
If she's busy, I'll do it.
My low roll beats everybody else's.
No, it's not, because I have a way.
Oh.
Hey.
But Asa's too quiet to speak up.
Yeah, she wouldn't say anything, but she knows you're full of crap.
I hate using it here, but I do want to call him out on his bullshit. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
Nope.
Ah.
Okay, I'm using my inspiration on this one.
Oh my god. Go ahead and reroll.
Wow. Good at keeping my secrets, it would seem.
I cannot believe you got away with that crap from a 5. He rolled a 5 on the dice podcast and got a 15. Literally everyone else rolled a 14. Other than Dinok, who got a 12.
And I used my inspiration for that 12. Thank you very much.
I know.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh my god.
By the way, I'm definitely going to be getting that insight back next week. I'm calling the recap. I'm calling it.
I didn't...
Huh?
Guidance!
Ah, Valadar!
Too late.
Yeah, already made the roll. Okay.
So, yep, as far as y'all are concerned, I just picked it up from some random location at some point.
I feel you're full of crap, but I'm gonna believe it for now. I only say that because you're always full of crap.
Am I?
Fair.
Or am I always telling the truth?
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
That can't be it.
Pardon would like to go ahead and look at the stuff the blacksmith already has made.
Okay. Basically,
I'll let Dinok.
Look at any. Hold on, Carden. Go
Yes.
to a player's handbook and open up the player's handbook to the equipment page, and anything you see on there, the blacksmith has.
Ooh.
He does not carry magical weapons because he is not an enchanter.
He is blacksmith, dude.
Exactly. So you do that while Katya, I believe, was talking.
Yes. I'll leave the final decision up to Dinok. What do you feel is most prudent here?
Going to recall the past several fights. And how many times has Katya pulled that out and used it?
I haven't had a reason to yet.
Okay, it is not integral to his fighting style, so...
I am a little afraid of using it in its current state.
Why?
Let's just say it's called Wither for a reason. It would take away from my life force to wreak havoc upon my enemy.
Do you mind if I identify it?
We'll just have to go with, I just know this. I can feel it.
Why are you being so cagey with this?
Cagey? I don't know what you're talking about. What does that mean? What do you mean by cagey?
Oh, you're gonna have to roll for that one, dude.
Okay, what is that? Is that another deception?
Oh
yeah, that last line, that's...
Yeah, I'll say deception. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Your persuasion and your deception are both the same, so...
I'm just...
16.
Full of crap.
Is he?
3.
Valinar calls you out on it.
Exactly like that, too. He just goes, I knew you were full of crap.
Technically, if you have the spell prepared, Dinok, you can just reach out and touch it and cast it.
I wasn't until Valinar said that.
Well,
I don't
I could have sworn I raised touch.
Oh, yeah,
I did speak to Dinok about this at one point.
You did?
He never identified it.
No, but
Did you actually say it was a packed weapon from...
I did not say that, no.
Yeah, I don't think you
I remember
have revealed the true nature of this weapon to anyone yet.
No, I do remember
I know you had talked to the warlocks on John's Island.
That's all we really knew.
And you never
Katya,
went further.
Katya, I need to know something. Are you going to willingly allow Dinok to make contact with your blade?
Well, let's see. I actually did speak to Dinok about having a patron at one point.
It still doesn't explain the blade.
No, it does not. This is before that.
Yep. And so I need to know, are you going to allow him to touch it?
No.
Then I need you to make an acrobatic check, and Dinok, I need you to make a melee spell attack. Dinok.
Forcibly smack me. Oh God.
Okay. Do you mind if I just use Shocking Grasp for simples?
Yeah, that's fine. It's the same bonus.
As long as it doesn't actually hurt. Oh yeah.
Okay. You touch it, Dinok, and you cast Identify. Give me one moment. I gotta pull up my Ancient Relic document.
Ancient Relic? It's a what?
Okay. And I need another thing. Oh. Okay. All right. So, Wither. It is a rare item, requires attunement, considered a magical sword. This item has an ability called Withering Touch. On a hit, You can choose to deal extra damage to the target by reducing your own maximum HP. The damage dealt is proportional to the HP given up. On a critical hit, your maximum HP is restored by the damage dealt. Would identify that there is a chance that Withering Touch will trigger on its own when making contact with another being. And the other thing that you would identify... Actually, at this point in time, I want you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Fail.
Yeah. As you begin to reach further into the knowledge of what this weapon is, as the depths at which the Identify spell is reaching, it baffles you. The distance that it is trying to reach down and pull information from is like trying to draw water from the well. And before you can get to the source of the water, or to the water's surface, there's this presence, this overbearing, almost impossible, frightening presence that just appears to be sensing into your own mind and forces you out.
I tried to warn you.
That is all you're able to identify. But you can tell that there is more to it.
The fuck?
I tried to warn you.
Where the fuck did you get that?
Like I said, it just appeared one day. I literally woke up with it back when we were in the tunnels. Underground.
He's not bullshitting you.
Yeah.
Do you have any clue how you came to wake up with it?
Can't explain the magic or the science behind it, but I do have a clue, and no, I'm not willing to share it. Not at this time. But can you, now that you have witnessed it yourself, do you believe me when I say I'm, in its current state, I am afraid to use it on its own?
Yeah.
But by granting it Vampiric Touch, that would help to mitigate some of the damage it might do. Because if I am to drain my life force, I have to throw myself into melee range. So I'm putting myself in harm's way, and also harm's way
an enemy and the sword.
So
exactly.
I want to point something out to you, Katya, just because I feel like you might have a misunderstanding of the weapon.
It drains my max HP, I know.
Right. So if you're at, say, 30 out of your 60, it doesn't reduce you to 20. It keeps you at 30, but it will reduce you to 30 out of 50, say if you do 10 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if I can heal some in the process, then that still puts me higher than I started.
I mean, I guess I understand that. I'm just saying, like, just
Yeah.
so you're not misunderstanding, because I feel like there might have been.
Oh, no, I get it. The only reason it would reduce my current HP is if my current HP would be higher than my max HP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
So what happens when you swing that sword when you are fit and full of vigor, shall we say?
Well,
Vampiric Touch will not go off and grant you health,
no.
but the sword will still eat At your very soul.
Which is why I would have to be careful when I use it.
I was really hoping you were going to pass that wisdom.
I know. That's what I'm good at, too.
That would have been great.
Would have been great. Oh, well.
I will not be comfortable spending any of our money until we know everything about that sword.
I have a feeling we'll never know everything about it, but...
Valmar's just gonna pipe up and go, I'm just gonna put this in the most basic terms, just so I get a clarification on what I'm understanding. Kadia, you want to use a sword that's literally going to kill you.
Essentially, yes. That is what she is saying.
If I could have given it to John,
No.
I would have.
And that sword probably would have killed John, too.
You heard him, he's always like, kill me, let me die! I would have gladly assisted with that, but he would have fought back, and I feel like that would have been very unfair when I was trying to help him. But anyway.
At this, Enoch just gives you this nasty glare.
What? I was only kidding.
So,
John needs our help.
I know. Unfortunately, we don't know where he went. But I did say I would leave the decision up to you, Dinok, and your concern was noted. For now, we'll hold off. Though I will probably be wielding this blade a little bit more to try and learn more about it with time. Especially now that I have this barrier ring.
And mayhaps I can spend more time attempting that spell. Something prevented me from looking too deep into it. It had a history deeper than
pretty much
Then I
any
could see
magic
an
item you've
instant.
ever identified. You haven't identified Heaven's Wrath either, so...
I know.
Anyway.
I'm not surprised. This sword is rather choosy. It likes me, and only me for now.
Can I do a wisdom to see if that connects to warlock thingies?
About it only liking him?
Yeah, because he said something about just things maybe ringing a bell slightly.
I'll allow intelligence if you want to do intelligence over wisdom. $13?
Is that enough for Dinok to say, is that a pact thing?
I would say yes.
Is that related to your warlock abilities that you mentioned to me about one time?
Well, the others were not made aware of this. However, I spoke to you and John in strict confidence about it. But now that you...
This is really awkward.
Yeah. Now that you've went and said it in front of everybody, yes.
If you're going to pull out a dangerous weapon like that, then yes, this needs to be talked about.
I'm
Yes.
going to assume that there is no enchanting being done here. I have a store to manage. Good day,
sorry,
Enoch.
Clippers.
And he leaves.
Yes, it is true. I forged a pact with an otherworldly being. Which is, that's what warlocks do. I was doing it more so that I could have better control over my magic, and it's not perfect, but it's better than it has been. I'm not exploding quite as frequently.
but then apparently you got that out of the deal. And to me, it seems like your patron doesn't want you alive anymore.
I can't imagine that. From what I could tell, he and I are on the same page as far as the demons are concerned.
Wait. Valnar's slowly catching up to the conversation. He goes, "Wait, did you say you made a deal? What exactly was the deal?"
He grants me power and better control over my magic, and in exchange, I had to twist some words around in order to appease Stroku's ego. There we go. He wanted me to exact vengeance upon the world, to kill in his name, but he did not specify what. My plan is to slaughter the demons. As long as there's bloodshed, he will be satisfied. This weapon was only to help.
And he wanted you to collect things for him, and he didn't say what.
Well, I'm not sharing that with the rest of the party.
Okay, just so that you're aware of that, because I don't know if that would have been something you would have written down.
I can't remember.
Yeah, you're fine.
But I mean,
didn't ask for
say again?
Katya, rule number 1 of dealing with anything extraplanar. Get it in writing and get a lawyer. Look at the freaking small print!
I wrote the small print.
Unlike. Second. Anyway.
But I don't see why you're shocked by this. I mean, we have a cleric who's not really a cleric. We have a barbarian that likes to just fight and kill things. You walk around with an army of the undead.
You made a deal with an extraplanar enemy to kill in his name.
Who said anything about him being an enemy?
Let's go in order there. Valinor, I give him shit, but that's because I trust him with his abilities. I hate the fact that it's a god-given ability, but that's just my personal problem with the gods. And I just give him shit because... Well...
I get shit from everyone.
And I don't mean anything against you personally. You know that, right?
Yeah, no, I know that. Same thing that happened in school.
Oof.
Oh.
Carden... That's just barbarians being barbarians. He's an exemplary aspect of that. Me? Technically, yes, necromancy, but it is a sanctioned ability, and as long as we are within regulated guidelines, it is perfectly common and normal. As I said, again, within regulated guidelines. It is strictly policed, if you will.
So what you are telling me is my pact isn't strictly within guidelines. I mean, on Isserus, one of the prevalent families was a whole family of warlocks. It's a
Did
common
any of them
practice.
have contact with this specific entity?
How am I supposed to know?
Did they tell you how they make their pacts? How they make their deals?
I believe it was something along the lines of reach out and something will answer.
That's not what I mean. The actual specifics of the deals. Like, your gain power and kill things in his name.
Well, if you're reaching out to a patron, you're typically seeking something. And as are they. They trade, they give up their power to you in exchange for you do what they're requesting. I mean, it's like making a, I'll scratch your back if you'll scratch mine. Like Dinok was like that one time when you had trouble with your scales and you needed some help, so you handed me the pliers.
Enoch kind of looks around real quick. Did anyone hear?
You had a spot that you needed to get to.
Anyways, so the exact wording of it was "kill in his name."
That's how I put it. I said I would seek vengeance, and what were my exact words? That I would.
Oh.
Did I write this down? Been a while. We've slept since then.
Can't even remember the words of his own deal.
Do.
I don't remember what you said, but it's been a little while.
Yeah.
So.
Essentially, I told him that I would
essentially take vengeance for him and kill in his name.
I don't even know if that was it, honestly, because I don't think. Like,
it was more like he was mocked for his power in life and shunned by humanity because, like me, he had trouble controlling his magic. I think
he wanted you to more or less spread chaos, if I'm not mistaken. Not necessarily like go around slaughtering everything, but just a little bit of chaos. If I'm remembering correctly.
That sounds about right.
I would have to go back and check the video on that, and I would have to for the exact details.
Yes.
Okay.
A little bit of his history is that he had trouble controlling his magic, much like I do, and in life, and people shunned him for it. And now in the afterlife, he has learned some more about how to channel that power more effectively, and has shared it with me. But he wanted me to.
He learned how to do it after he died?
I'm assuming so, or I could be mistaken. Maybe he never learned.
Or maybe he never died.
What, like the Sleeping King?
He's an extraplanar being. He might just still be alive.
What did you ever say his name, his title?
I never got his title specifically. But I am guessing. I think it was when I was visiting the Warlocks. They did a check into my blood history and called me one of the originals. Descended from.
Vaguely, yes.
Yes, descended from. As far back as the furthest I can think of, the origins of sorcerers was the Red Scare. And that is who I went looking for.
Enoch, you can make a history check on the name of the Red Scare name. 15? That's adequate. You know him by a different... a history lesson from long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I am looking for the document. 1 second here. Wasn't expecting this to come up, so I didn't have it open.
Yes!
Isn't it fun when the players completely derail your
Yeah,
entire
I was expecting
session?
you guys to go swimming. We're still standing in a city street.
You were expecting us to have our beach episode.
Valinar.
So
Valinar would have known as well.
You would know. I'm sorry, what?
Valinar would actually know. I have that written down because I got information about the Red Scare.
Okay.
What I've got written down in my notes here is
Valinar. Oh, right, because Valinar, there would have been a location on Valinar's island, I believe.
Yes, and Dinok actually got information in the Giant's library on him. It was documented that there was a village between the Laughing Woods and Quarthon Forest that one day became a crimson smoking crater. Even the nearby cities of the time had no information on the incident. I believe it is Porta and Vegram. The Red Scare must have survived because a later entry denotes a hill giant clan known as the Stompers was wiped out by an individual matching the description. The crater is referred to as the Red Pit.
Mm-hmm. So, Dinok, now you would remember, we'll just say, that your history books that you learned growing up refer to a crimson scar or scare. Both of these were commonly used for tragedies that happened in different areas that effectively this would have been pre-rise kind of boogeyman kind of a thing is what this would have been. But it was basically all around the world, different either clans or cities or even just groups of people traveling, just different instances of individuals effectively being destroyed in a red plume almost, and eventually going down in history as the Red Scare, the Crimson Scare, etc. There are several names that have been mentioned to this individual who would have owned this name in history. Valinar, you would know that there is a red crater on your island, which you would probably know and remember from that conversation that totally didn't happen almost a year.
That place was creepy.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, that took place in episode.
Of course, you would know that.
I have that written down.
Well, then tell me what episode you had that conversation with your patron, so I don't have to go searching terribly difficult.
Okay, episode 35 was the information about him.
Oh God.
When I had the conversation with the patron, it was episode 38. You're welcome.
Amazing.
I kind of want to see a picture of your notes.
Now.
Oh my gosh. So
Put a picture of that in the Discord. I gotta see this shit.
Alright.
you said this was between the Laughing Woods and Portas was where the Crimson
Porthon or something like that.
Aura?
Aura.
Quorum?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Eora.
Quorthan or something like that. My handwriting's a bit meh.
What?
Oh, the Corium Forest?
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah.
I wrote it down as Chase said it. I mean, DM.
Yeah, that would have been the Corium Forest. It's Corium Forest. So between
Not even close.
No. I just thought you said Pora, the city.
Yeah, so did I.
So it would have been okay.
I don't know. I wrote down what I heard.
I'm literally just adding to my notes red hole. So yeah, no, that's between the Laughing Woods and the Corium Forest.
Okay.
Yeah, the moment you said Q, I'm like, I don't think I wrote any city, forest, or anything that begins with a Q here, buddy. So, but yeah. Alrighty, well then.
Now, I do have to specify that I am not sure if it is the Red Scare that I had a talk with, or, see, I got a weird creature the first time that had me talk to a weird creature that was, I did not look at him, but everything was red around me. That may have been the Red Scare himself, but he told me to speak with his father, and this father is the one that I made the pact with. I don't know if the father is the Red Scare, or some other being entirely that maybe predates him. But to me, he seemed more like an angel than anything else.
Yeah, all I can think of is that giant red crater.
Going from his line about angels.
Mm-hmm.
In my learnings in religions, would I know anything about an angel associated with the color red?
No, the angel wasn't colored red.
Well,
but the one he. But also, my thought is, if the person who granted the Red Scare his power may have an association with the color red.
I would say make a religion check.
Straight or with disadvantage, I'm thinking.
They're pretty vocal. I would say just a flat roll.
Okay.
For certain purposes.
Jesus.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, he exists now.
Well, the first god that has some symbology with the color red, god or god angel that comes to your mind is hold on, I don't want to fuck this up because you have different ones. Is Nurgle. If you remember, the priest that you talked with was wearing, outside, or previously, due to the Dracolich attack, was wearing red robes. The iconology within the God of War's domain is typically red, as in for the red of blood. It's possible, but only Katya would be able to tell the difference between the depiction of Nurgle and versus whom he made a deal with. And to my knowledge, Katya has not stepped foot inside of a God of War temple in order to see any kind of depiction or iconography.
Haven't had a reason to.
True.
Okay, but would Deanoch know Nurgle iconography?
You would, to some extent.
Yeah.
So, I will say, if you are wishing for him to, for Katya to make a descriptor of this individual, you could certainly try.
You might have to remind me what he looks like.
I don't have to do no such thing.
I gotta recall it.
This is you and the player. This is you as the player, what you remember.
And you don't have keen mind.
I do not.
Yeah.
That's why I take notes.
That's why I play dumb.
Why?
Honestly, I'm wanting to play a character that's about as smart as me, so -2 intelligence.
So, that is something you can do, but I will say that you guys continue to have that conversation kind of on the way, maybe next time. I had a cliffhanger in mind for this episode, and we did not get there. I really thought we would get there. But...
Sorry.
Shopping!
Hey,
shopping and weird revelations coming to light.
Oh, yeah. Oh, please. I've been sitting on a lot of this stuff for so long.
And we just kind of been glossing over it.
Well,
It never came up. As long as I was not causing problems in the name of the Red Scare, nobody had to question it. But since D-Knock dropped that bomb,
so I'm gonna say that we put a pin in this, and that you guys pick up this conversation next week, because I know it's starting to get late, and some people have to work tomorrow.
true.
And some people are probably already gone because they have to work tomorrow. Which is fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. So I will say, let's see. You guys are currently having this conversation. Let's go with where would you guys like this conversation to go after this? You guys tell me. You guys
Well, D-Knock is trying to deduce who this could potentially actually be.
So,
and he was asking me to give a description of it.
Who this patron, I think I spelled that wrong, but I don't care, would be thought or might ask Katya so put that in the chat to remind me for later, for
Perfect.
next week, because obviously that we could forget by then.
Oh yeah.
And I'm also going to say, for you, Rona, no going back and listening to the episode to see how he's described.
Okay.
Because that is meta.
That's cheating.
That is
cheating.
meta, yeah.
I will do that.
I let
You can think about it over the week.
You
Yeah.
can think
Try
about
and
it
remember.
and try to remember, sure. But
I
going
think
back,
it was Liquid Ocelot. Was that his name?
he never gave you a name. That much I know for sure.
No, I'm talking about.
He's talking about a reference to probably Metal Gear Solid, if I'm...
Yeah, that's the image I had in mind when you described him.
Well, then you can describe him
Oh,
if
God.
you so wish.
Stupid cat.
But yeah, so that will conclude this week, I think, everyone. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and enjoying this episode with us. And next week, we'll find some fish, hopefully.
Maybe.
Really, hopefully we can get there.
It's also only like noon.
Jeez, we spent just a few hours.
Yep. Alrighty. Thank you guys. Have a good night. And enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Hopefully so.
Bye.
Bye.